Welcome back to RPDX Sports. My name is, I almost dropped the ball. My name is Guillermo Mota, and this is the last episode of Beyond the End Zone, and we got some dogs to tell you about. The Tualatin Timberwolves are on their quest to their first ever state title, but first, they must prove their worth.
There's been a lot of people to count us out, and I think us leading this team, I think it can go as far as we want to, honestly.
Tualatin High, home of the Timberwolves, a group hungry for success and looking to prove everyone wrong.
Just to prove what we can do. You know, I feel like we have a lot to showcase. We have a lot to prove, and you know, I feel like a lot of people kind of count us out as far as, you know, who's the top team in the state. It's always been Lake Oswego, West Linn, Central Catholic, those type of schools, and you know, we haven't won a state championship, and so that's our goal this season, is to bring one home, and I think we have the guys to do it.
When you say you want to prove something, what do you want to prove?
Prove that we're one of the top teams in the state, prove that we can beat anybody in the state, and I believe that we can.
Honestly, just the lack of recognition of our guys. I mean, I think there's a lot of dogs here that are unrecognized, and I don't think that's right, because I think we have some of the best players in the state, and we can compete with anyone.
They recognize there's other teams in the state that often are labeled as the best in Oregon, but they feel like they belong in that conversation, especially this year.
That's like kind of the story of us. You know, we always just want to go out and play that week and prove to people, anybody that had us losing that game, anybody that had us losing to any games, proving them wrong.
One thing is for sure, this team doesn't lack confidence.
You're going to look at my film and you're going to realize I'm going to play. I think that's the obvious thing. I think I'm one of the best players every single time I step on the field. So I think watching my film would be a good idea.
2 games left in the regular season, and Tualatin High is making a strong push. 2 away games to see what they got. Now, one of those games has been circled in their calendar for some time now. Friday, October 24th at West Linn, the defending champs.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a successful season so far, and obviously we're getting into the kind of really difficult part of our schedule with, you know, Lake Ridge, West Linn, and Tigard coming up. You know, I think for us the talk is about process. You know, obviously we always want to shoot to win, right? I mean, we play the game to win. We want to play the game the right way. But for us, it's about the process. You know, you don't win by just showing up on Fridays. You know, you win by getting in the weight room. You win by having good practices. You win by, you know, watching film and studying your opponent and knowing that on, you know, 3rd and 7 they're going to run screen, right? Like that's how you win. You know, and then hopefully, you know, hopefully if the 2 teams are similar in talent, you're going to win by your sheer grit and toughness. And, you know, we talk about all fight right here, which I kind of stole from Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. But, you know, everything we do, we're trying to fight to be the best we can be.
Okay, set. Yep.
It all starts here at practice.
You need to improve every day, so I think that's the most important thing. I mean, you can't go out there and slack over practice, and the next day you're going to show up and it could get worse. So I think 1% better every day is the most important thing. I mean, underdog, they put their head down and work. They don't talk to anyone, but yeah, I mean, they don't talk to anyone. They just do their work and stay quiet.
And that's been their motto all season.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're... Ouch.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's okay. Huh? No, I put my finger right in his face mask.
Embrace the underdog label, but play like the big dog.
I'm an offensive guy, but I don't mind defense. Defense is fun getting after everyone, but yeah, I like catching the touchdowns. It's still been an underdog mentality. I mean, I think everyone really counted us out, and I think that showed against the Lake Oswego game. I mean, almost everyone picked Lake Oswego to win that game. So I think the underdog mentality is just go up and show them and do business there, and you don't talk about it anywhere else.
2 things. Number 1, we got to finish, and then number 2, you know, we've got to continually focus on improving every single week. The teams that make it far in the playoffs seem to be getting better every week. You got to be good, you got to be healthy, and you need a little bit of luck. But if those three things can happen, then you give yourself a chance.
There's no messing around or wasting time at practice. They understand, okay, play your heart out on Friday, but as soon as that game is over and you secure the win, start thinking about the following game.
There's a little bit of satisfaction, but one thing I'll tell our offensive line group especially is that you have 24 hours after we win a football game to party and enjoy yourself. After that, we wash it and then we're on to the next game. I'll watch film and I'll pick out the things I did bad versus the things I did good, and then I'll emphasize on the things I did bad and then work on those during practice for the next week. And then on Sunday, I will dive into film on the following opponent.
Playoffs is just a few corners away, and the T-Wolves might be finding their pace at the right time.
Welcome back to R3D Sports. In the last episode of Beyond the End Zone this year, the Tualatin football team just came from a loss against the Lake Ridge Pacers. But tonight, they are looking forward to the next 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the season, so they can bounce back and make a big push in the loaded Three Rivers League.
Go! Ranked as one of the top 5 teams in the state of Oregon, Tualatin High's football doesn't really listen to the outside noise. They just want to win.
I'm working for the team to win. I mean, obviously personal accolades are nice and everything, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you're 1-8 or 1-9, like all that stuff. I feel like focusing on the win over myself is more important.
Go. Take Cole Newton, for example. The team's tight end is not afraid to get down and dirty, all to get that W. And he knows that there's no team without TE.
You got to get down in the trenches, then you can go up and route someone up. So I think we're one of the most versatile people on the team. I think we're underlooked. So, I mean, we can do what a lineman does, but we can also catch balls like a receiver. So I think doing both those is, and you're the big body. You're always making the big catches on everyone. It's right there.
This team is full of dogs, no pun intended, led by their seniors Connor and Cole.
Ooh. Good hit.
Yeah, Luke. Damn, what just happened, bro?
I would consider myself, I think a lot of other people would consider myself a leader of this football team. And with that comes a whole lot of pressure. So it's a little bit of a struggle to navigate the difference between when I need to be a leader versus when I need to just go out there and play my ass off and put somebody in the dirt, you know. So I'd say that's the big thing.
Dude, I'm gonna play like that the entire time.
No.
It just locks.
Yeah, and then I can't.
When would you need that though? Trying to get I'm the energy guy. Me and Connor are the 2 big energy guys. I think that's the most important thing, because if we practice flat, it's gonna show out on Friday. And so I think the most important thing is coming in every day to practice with energy.
Set. Go.
They take scrimmages and practices as serious as a game. They have a chip on their shoulder to be in the conversation as one of the best in Oregon, even if you have to sacrifice yourself for the team.
There's no better feeling in my opinion than putting someone on the ground and looking up and the ball's in the end zone and we're celebrating.
The Timberwolves Nation is a family, one that sticks together and represents the double T everywhere.
I mean, it's just a brotherly love around here. We love everybody, and I was actually on a college visit and one of the coaches was telling me about how if you rely on love, you know, when times get tough, you can fall back on that instead of, you know, if you hate the guy in front of you, if you play with hate, then you have nothing to fall back on. But if you play for the love of your teammates, then you have that to fall back on, and that's something I'm carrying with me for the rest of the season, most definitely.
Get set. Get set. Oh, you wish.
That culture is also spread across the coaching staff.
This coaching community is kind of like a brotherhood. I mean, you see guys at coaches' clinics in the off season and develop relationships. And I mean, for me personally, you know, those coaches out there are my most important coaches for me because they're my staff.
As leaders and seniors, the upperclassmen know they're playing for each other, but also have to leave a legacy behind for the young pups.
Knowing the underclassmen needed me, I mean, the upperclassmen really, they changed my life. So I think that's the most important thing I want to give back to the younger age as well. Go T-Mac, I'm lead blocking for you, boy.
One thing future football players have to learn before stepping onto this field is practice is not meant to be fun.
Honestly, the whole week it's not fun, you know, but you have to do things that aren't fun sometimes, and a lot of times there's things in practice that are fun, there's things that aren't in practice that are just, you got to put your head down and work, and there's a good balance of that here, and so that's why I love it. It was the win. It was going straight in the middle, and then it just turned on a dime.
But winning and creating a name for yourself on those stands, that's rewarding.
Outside of winning, having fun. I mean, football is a sport. At the end of the day, you should have fun doing it. And I think that's the most important thing. And I mean, setting a standard here that can live on for, I mean, the legacy. I mean, I think that's the most important thing is all our seniors have been great. And I think keeping that role is the most important thing outside of winning.
And here, you will find out what you're made of.
You just got to be born with it. You got to be born with that killer mentality. I was, you know, if you ask my mom, she'll always tell you that whenever my dad would come home from work, he would have to wrestle me because I just had so much energy and just a passion to hit people. And I would literally be pushing on a wall at home. We have like a brick wall in our house, and my mom would tell me to go push on that. So it's something that you just got to be born with, and then also just got to have balance and just know that you're playing for the people next to you, and especially in practice when you're going to get up against your brothers, you just got to understand that, you know, at the end of the day, it's love and you're wearing the same color jersey.
At the end of the day, these fellas are learning how to be men, and one day they'll take off the Tualatin pads and walk away with valuable life lessons.
We're working really hard, you know, countless hours, putting in time, effort, energy, blood, sweat, and tears into getting better, and then proving yourself, getting better on Friday Night Lights, and just seeing that improvement and then seeing that work pay off, I'd say is the biggest thing.
Let's go, let's go. Go! Go!
Tualatin Timberwolves have come up short 4 times in their history according to OSAA records. 4 times they have placed second in the school's football history. So yes, they want to prove everyone wrong and bring in their first state title this year.
Good. Are you a 3 technique?
It's going to be a tough road ahead. 2 games left, and coming up next and Beyond the End Zone, Tyree Smith sits down with the head coach of the Timberwolves. Welcome back to RPDX Sports, and this week's last Beyond the End Zone episode, we talked to the head man in charge of the Tualatin Timberwolves. Dominic Ferraro has been at Tualatin since 2022, a job that just popped up at the right time, and he was the runaway candidate since then, and he's still in charge of the T-Wolves.
Winter Day Pole Memorial Field. You come here, you take on winners. Timberwolves type of winner. Dominic Ferraro, 4th year at the helm for the Tualatin Timberwolves. Football season's coming to a great end, and they're 5-1 right now. Coach, I appreciate your time, having a little bit of time to talk to me.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Well, Coach, you got your 4th season at the helm, coming over for Forest Grove. I got to ask you, the view is a little bit prettier right now. What's it like being here so far in your 4th season?
I mean, it's been great. We've definitely had some success. The community's awesome. We've got a lot of community support, a lot of administrative support. We've been blessed to have some pretty darn good football players come through here. You know, a lot of guys that are playing at the next level. So we're blessed to have that, and I'm just humbled to be here and happy to be at the helm. Give a good rush, please.
Down. There we go.
There we go.
Get a break, get a break, get a break.
You know, I'm curious, when you come to a different program, you always want to bring your culture and what you bring in and turn this thing around. Tualatin was pretty good when you came here still, though. So I'm curious, how were you able to kind of implement yourself into this program while not also overturning absolutely everything they've done?
Yeah, I think, you know, they had just come off a state title. They didn't win, but they made it to the state championship. You know, a lot of the systems were weight training, you know, academic, you know, help and things like that. You know, for me, the biggest thing that I brought was just my offense. You know, we wanted to play at a fast tempo, a little bit more spread, a little bit more open. Darn near all of the coaches stayed. I think only one guy went with Coach Lever down to Silverton. You know, so it was great to have a group of coaches to kind of keep what was already built going.
I'm sure when you're picking a place you want to go to, it's about the culture and a type of culture that welcomes you. What was the biggest thing that Tualatin offered you when you were looking for a new gig?
I think, you know, one of the things that was interesting about it was just the level of success that it had. That was one. I think the other thing that was kind of interesting about it was the league that we play in. You know, you pull up film of your league opponent every week and you look at it and go, I don't know how we're going to score any points, but somehow we do. And so just that competition level.
For you personally, what What wakes you up and you're like, oh, it's going to be a good day on the field?
Yeah, I think what gets me excited and kind of keeps me going back is just the relationships that you build through this sport. I've coached with guys who I've been in their weddings. I have players who, come back to see us. That tells me you're doing something right in terms of building those relationships. Because I think at the end of the day, like, people aren't going to remember what you say to them. They're going to remember how you made them feel.
Talking a little bit about this team, coming off 6-4 last year, but now you're 5-1. What's been the talk? What's been the conversations like in the locker room? Whole new group of players, but they're still kicking tail at 5-1.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a successful season so far, and obviously we're getting into the kind of really difficult part of our schedule with, Lake Ridge, West Linn, and Tigard coming up. I think for us, the talk is about process. You don't win by just showing up on Fridays. You win by getting in the weight room. You win by having good practices. You win by, watching film and studying your opponent. And then hopefully if the two teams are similar in talent, you're going to win. The teams that make it far in the playoffs seem to be getting better every week. You got to be good, you got to be healthy, and you need a little bit of luck. But if those three things can happen, then you give yourself a chance.
5-1, Tualatin Timberwolves looking to keep on adding to the win column.
Yes, sir.
And possibly bringing back some hardware back to this field. Coach, I appreciate you so much for your time.
You bet. Thank
Dom
you.
Ferraro, 4th year at the helm, and you'll be seeing him this Friday night against the Lake Ridge Pacers.
All right, coming off after the break, we wrap up the last episode of Beyond the End Zone. Such a special program we have here. All right, I'll see you after the break. I'm gonna put my hat on before we start this last part. Hey, you ain't never seen anyone with this hat. Just saying. Nobody has this. All right, welcome back to RPDX Sports. This is the final episode of Beyond the End Zone, and we had a blast covering all these teams from Lake Oswego, West Linn, Camas Paper Makers, and the last one you just watched, Tualatin Timberwolves, and also everyone in between. And then we just want to say thank you to all the coaches, players, and families for letting us tell your story. And if you want to go back and watch these episodes, you can find them on our YouTube page. Just look up K2 and then Beyond the End Zone. It should be attached to that. But also, this is not over. We're probably going to bring it back either next year. And also, we're also thinking about maybe a basketball season one. So let us know if that's something you want to watch. We'll be interested to see your responses to that. All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Be sure to check out RPDX Sports every night from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. But also, 11 p.m., K2. We got to talk about the Mariners, you know what I mean? And also, the local games tonight. Have a good night, everyone.